love the slow jazz. Welcome back to Last Call, everyone. Joined by Chris, Mike, Hartley, and Maggie.
Oh my goodness! Hello.
Wrapping up the Tillville saga.
Wow. You know what? That was the best story arc I've been a part of in D&D. I enjoyed that so much.
You bugger!
Yeah.
You big butt munch!
Oh my goodness. So there's so much to talk about.
Mike and I had some trickery afoot.
Yes,
we did.
It's so funny because originally the whole reason I asked about the potential of multiclassing previously was I was like, do we need to make a pact? Do we need to bring back Dillon? And that was just like, so that was, it's funny that's kind of that's the vibe.
Yeah, that's my first question is, like maybe you can tell it's the last call, so it doesn't have to be like canon or anything like that. Are you going Warlock?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
That's
and
fair.
Two, I'm just gonna stay quiet for now.
Not sure yet.
Here's the thing. Chris has a lot planned that I sense because we had our last session, the one before this,
the one where
we had our last
died.
call. Yes, I ate I think 5 Kinder toys.
It was the quickest stress eat I've ever seen.
I literally smacked because it's Easter now, so I smashed like 5 little Kinder treats, and then like 2 Ferrero Rochers.
Yeah.
And
Mike
then
walked over to the kitchen island and just sat and furiously shoved chocolate in his mouth.
Truly did.
It was.
I don't think I've ever stress eaten so much.
You looked so sad.
Well, I was.
Yeah, it made sense.
It's like I put you put so much work into a character and you love who they've become and you love the story and like there's so much that's coming up in the next couple of episodes just in terms of like the 100%. Stuff that we're going to be doing. So but anyway, we had that session, we had the last call. Chris stayed behind and then I was like it really felt like kind of like waiting for the entire class to leave before the teacher talks to you about how you've been like a bad person.
You got a bad grade on that last test.
Yeah, exactly. I got the talking to.
Stay after class.
So yeah, I'm just sitting and I'm like, okay, Chris, so what's up? And I think you were like, okay, well, I want you to know that you will not need to make a new character. And I was like, yes! Okay, sweet. And I was like, oh, okay, but I feel like it'd be so much fun if I wrote up like a little character sheet and kind of like played it up
but
for a second.
The way you handled it, Chris, was really good. Because the one thing I was afraid of was it's so early in the campaign that any way that Dillon was he was either gonna die, and we have no way of so here's what I was afraid of. We're a really low level, and so either in my mind I was like, if we're truly trying to bring Dillon back, and I knew we were because I knew you wanted to play Dillon again, right?
Oh, so you knew? I mean, you felt like you felt like deep down that
I knew deep down that we're trying to get Dillon back.
Yeah.
So my goal was like, okay, maybe we might be going to the Capitol, but then my fear is like, okay, we're in a podcast now, and we're going to, as level 3 characters, going to be on the lookout and trying to find like level 14 NPCs, and we like to cast the resurrection spell like with a level, I think it's a level 7, so they need to be like, these need to be heroes, right? And so all of a sudden like we've got a goal, and it felt almost game breaking to me of like, okay, but then if we find a level 11 or level 12 NPC that is willing to help us, we're just gonna always consider them. It's gonna kind of like take away. I was afraid of it. And the way you handled it, Chris, was awesome.
Well, I think just setting up the world building with Hallow, like with a sorcerer or warlock or wizard of that caliber that could bring someone back from the dead, that's very few and far between.
Exactly.
Like magic is very faint in this world right now. So even just like it's not even a possibility that these people exist, let alone you'd find them on the road to the Capitol. But the thing I was also thinking about was, even before whatever happened to Dillon in the last session, I made the fight so hard it would kind of be irresponsible of me if I didn't have a contingency plan set up.
Of course. So I was waiting to ask you that question. Because we were both pretty much 1 HP when you died.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If he had killed me and done double my HP, which actually he was very close.
Very close. Yeah.
In fact, he did 40 so damage, right?
I
think it was 41.
Yeah.
It's 41 damage.
Yeah,
28,
if you got
28.
hit with that.
The one that double killed him.
That killed me.
It was 41 damage. That would have double killed me.
Yes.
So would this deal, would you have like if I had died in that turn instead of Dillon, would you have done the exact same thing for me, or was that a kind of plan, a contingency plan for like Dillon specifically, and me it would have been, you know, Cord or something like that?
I can't say.
Can't say. Oh my goodness.
There are 3 things that my brain went to when after last session that I was just like, one is sacrifice. I don't know what, but something, and whether it was you or Big B or some like. Because again, I'm like, I don't know anything about your God world, Chris. I'm just like, somebody out there is going to want to do something for the body of this kid. 2 was potentially getting your little vibrating rock.
Yes.
And just yelling into it that Kinala's son is dead.
Oh.
And then the 3rd was potentially shoving Meridium into him.
Oh,
those were the 3 things.
You are good.
Wow,
at
you were
this
thinking
game.
about that.
You are
the
good
only
at
3.
this game.
I honestly forgot about the Meridian.
This is why Peric gave you the backup plan.
I have
You are very,
I have it on one hand and I have my little copper ring on the other. And those are my
That's
thingies.
really
But
good.
Dillon, this whole death space that you were in,
because when we spoke after that session, you were like, "You're gonna come back, but know that you died."
Yes.
And with that comes severe consequences.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit. So it's going to be I feel like it's going to be a fair trade-off for the fact that I'm still here as Dillon.
Our characters, I love that everybody knows that Dillon lied, but also that was a good moment, by the way, when you came over and you said, give him a fucking break.
I loved that. That was awesome.
I was also, as Maggie, I was just shocked at how well it worked. Again, story-wise, because I was like, this could have been a plant. But like the fact that you pulled out the sheet, Chris was like, it's too early, don't show anybody.
Yes.
I was like, you fucking real life liars.
I got here early and we scripted that.
Oh my God.
We're like, okay, so if I don't introduce you, Mike, I just go straight to Hartley and Maggie, and then I finally introduce you, and then you bring out the character sheet, and I'll go, oh no, not yet.
Oh my God.
It is scribbles.
Yeah, it's meaningless.
Oh my goodness.
Age 42, height 6'3", weight is a scribble.
That's really
You're just
funny.
describing Cadmus.
I was just
marked it just with an F.
Yeah, I was like,
paper.
oh, there's like the F
Coin.
F currency or whatever. Dragon unveiled, but I
Dragon
spelled
Reaper.
unveiled wrong, and I
That's
just kind of
really
scribbled
funny.
over it. I just kind of made it look a little thought out, but
enough to just flash.
enough to flash, you know.
Oh
and
my
this,
goodness.
from a distance, because this
It looked
does
real.
look like you're writing in
Yes.
your notes
Yes,
journal.
yes,
Yeah.
This
awful
looked
scribble.
Correct.
That says a lot, Michael. Where
gotta-
scribbles
the picture
and you
is-
trying to write are
is
not
awful.
that far off.
Hold on, I want to take a photo of that.
Oh no,
I
no, we are
Yeah.
not posting that.
no, I have to. It's
You
for-
took a picture of my
It's for the
curling and
Instagram.
tacos shirt.
Yes,
We're taking a photo of this.
True. Fair.
But
Your face in there if you want.
But
yeah, you came back.
Yeah,
and
that was so interesting.
Yeah.
The circle closing underneath me.
Oh my God.
The deal that had to be done. Dillon didn't want to do it, but like I had
to.
No, I had no choice.
I love that Dillon was like, well, what if I don't do the things?
Oh yeah,
It was like the comedic
That
relief
was
of it
so
felt great.
funny.
it's like it was like you can't tell anyone, and I was like, but what would
if I
happen?
do?
But, just like, what would happen if I did
Yeah.
tell my friends? Like, okay, all right, I get it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
There were so many other good moments in this session.
you had your
Holy
Big B fight.
moly.
We did.
Dax finally showed up.
I'll tell
Oh.
you, I was looking so forward to getting the last blow in. If you hadn't killed me, I really wanted to get that last blow in and say, I've got some information for you. You're fucking dead. And then
Nice.
that was going to be my
Nice.
finish him moment.
Nice.
Dax took it.
I do kind of love it though that like it was just me and Dax up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this does make sense to like how
Yeah.
we kind of work
Yeah.
together in ways too, though, where it's like we don't get involved, we stay far away.
Yeah.
And it was just it was nice to see that from my perspective and my character's perspective.
Your
Yeah.
little last talk with Big B was brutal.
Oh my
I
God.
loved it.
Yeah.
The foot on the hoof on the throat.
Me as a player, I was just like, fuck, I don't know. Do I need to keep him? Should we ask him questions? Probably. But like, it felt good. After the way we started that fight and I had
No,
regrets
fuck
about
him.
that, it
Yeah.
felt fine.
Yeah, he was common enemy number
He
one.
had to go.
Yeah.
What other moments did we have?
I mean, you guys have a vial of Meridium.
Yeah.
Do you have a vial of Meridium? And I know in the session I was like, oh, I want to put it in the golden spade, but now there's like a possibility that it might break, which But I also don't think Dillon would be the one to want that. I feel like Dillon would be more happy for you guys to use it for something else.
I wonder can we use Meridium on, for example, like what would Maggie use Meridium on? Because you can maybe use
Spell Orb.
The Spell Orb? Would that upgrade a Spell Orb?
I can't say.
Or
it would probably make an Unbreaking one.
No, I doubt it.
You don't think so?
Because Meridium is what makes up Spell Orbs.
Right, but like small amounts of Meridium with a bunch of random crap versus like pure Meridium Orb would be probably get a lot of uses out of that, if not unlimited.
And like I don't understand, like as Minx, like I don't really understand how the orbs are made. I know that it's mined, and I know
you don't make the element orbs.
No,
you give
I just know
Merrick like small, like almost like particles of Meridium, and just that alone is enough to help form element orbs. So
and like
you don't really know the extent of how powerful this ore can be.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like the only other thing that she originally, when she was looking for rocks and got poop, but like the only thing I really had to go off of it was trying to either cast through it or using it in my arm guard thing similarly, like just kind of either using it as an independent focus or in the tools that I already have to use it. And like that would be the only thing I have to go off of.
Shit, I wonder what would happen if you try to cast with just the vial that we have now of like raw Meridium.
I don't know. Yeah, I literally don't know, but I'm like, that's scary because it's basically raw controlling power.
Yeah.
It's like the Philosopher's Stone.
Like, it's almost like that's so interesting because in one of our first ever last calls, I talked about one of my favorite books, which is the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, which is really. Have you read them, Maggie?
No, but I have 3 of his books on my shelf that I need to read.
Mistborn or
one is Mistborn, and then 2 other ones
are the Stormlight Archive ones.
Like
the Way of Kings.
Don't know. One is Way of Kings.
Read that book; it's my favorite book of all time.
I'll send pictures.
With the Mistborn series, I talked about how there's like this metal. It's a thing that is effectively like the unbridled like power of a god. It's like the condensed into the world, which is kind of what I'm interpreting from this Meridium.
Cool.
Like, it's just it's awesome. Anyway, it's very, very cool.
We have a vial. That's
we got a vial.
We have a vial.
It's interesting because I have a different idea of how magic works in this world, and the fact that like I'm like I don't fucking know. It just I can kind of do it. Is really. It's fun.
So
it's a really fun aspect in the game.
So on top of Meridium, you guys also got a few presents from some of the.
I was going to talk about that. I'm going to really, really miss Peric. I think.
Of course you are.
My last interaction with him, I was tearing up. I was actually tearing up.
Your banter is fantastic.
You know what? I'm gonna miss it because specifically, I think. I love Clue. I love everything about him. I love playing him, but specifically playing him. In scenes where I'm talking to Peric, it feels the most real.
Yeah.
And I think it's what I'm best at in this game is just conversations with him.
Yeah.
They feel, Chris, like you and I are, it feels like we're truly storytelling.
Well, if anything, he'll always be in your dreams.
Yeah, that was funny too.
Ghost Peric.
Ghost Peric said the same thing.
He's like,
what?
As soon as Peric said, yeah, like you shouldn't be here. Or not you shouldn't be here, sorry.
Yeah, he said you shouldn't be here to Clue.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my god, it's Dreamlines.
Yes.
It's Dreamlines.
Yeah.
Streamlines.
Yeah. Oh my
As
god.
Maggie,
it was so good. That interaction was awesome, and I'm gonna really miss him. Him giving me the fire breathing spell was hilarious.
Yes, I can tell you what that. So it's a potion of fire breath.
Yep.
So after drinking this potion,
is it in normal inventory?
Maybe. You can use a bonus action to exhale fire at a target within 30 feet of you. The target must make a dexterity saving throw, taking 46 fire damage on a failed save or half as much damage on success. The effect ends after you exhale the fire 3 times or 1 hour has passed.
Cool.
That's
so you get
really powerful.
3 essentially fire breaths.
That's
You'll become a little dragonborn for a moment.
Really, really cool.
Very, very cool.
4d6 on every bonus action is crazy.
Yeah, it's a bonus action. Yeah. And you are now an arm of Cord.
You're an arm.
That is what that's really interesting. Is that you guys didn't know about the pendant, or you knew about the scale up system.
We knew the scale. Yes. Yeah, there's like the eyes
Pandora bracelets.
Yeah, I keep the Pandora bracelets super hidden because it's like
Pancorda.
Yeah, Pancorda.
Pancorda. I also really wish the locket of Banks was
actually canon. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we actually knew that you were a hand.
I think we
did.
We previously described.
We kind of
maybe we described it to the audience, but I don't think you guys.
No, because Peric said you are but a lowly hand.
Yeah, but I don't think we ever had that conversation.
I don't think
with
we
Dillon.
did.
Yeah, like I don't think that we really knew. I was
because
like,
that
oh,
was session one.
you're an
Session
assistant
one.
kind of thing. Like that's kind of what. 'Cause even like a hand.
No,
of
I was a
somebody
hand.
is yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
And now you're an arm, so in a sense, you get to extend yourself into the world.
By the way, kudos to you, my dude, for that description that you had for like what the hand represents in the Church of Cord, the extension into the world, and like making your own impression was. I literally got goosebumps.
I got that with again, I know we talked about it already, but all of Dillon's thing in the little spherical dark pit. I was just like
with the voice.
I was like
Yes.
just clutching the
shackles.
table.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you got some tattoos now,
you
Dillon.
I have tattoos.
tattoos.
My dad's gonna be pissed.
Badass.
He told me not.
Yeah.
I've
Oh
always
my
wanted them.
goodness.
And Minx, you got something from Peric as well.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Got
So
more
cool.
rings.
More rings.
God, it will be nice to just have a
Backups.
backup,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 saving graces.
Yeah.
Some contingency plans.
Herschel.
Are we?
Herschel.
Angsty boy Herschel. That was such a great voice for him.
So
yeah,
good.
the little,
Yeah.
the little.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really
the voice
funny.
like this.
Yeah. Keep
But
behind the
he had
screen.
The fact that we went to his house and we chose not to go in.
I know.
I
It's
know,
hilarious.
but I feel like that made sense for us so early on because like the
Yeah.
last thing we want to do
We're
is
not
like
gonna break
into
into a
somebody's
guy's house.
B&E.
Now we're gonna break in.
Now
we're like break the doors
Now I'm gonna
down.
assume everything needs to be
The golden shovel is
Fantastic.
amazing.
Oh, the
I
golden
can't
shovel.
believe.
Can he attack with it? It's still like a weapon,
Yeah.
right?
you can
Okay.
still
Well,
use
yeah, I would assume it would just be the
It would
same
only
stats I use
break
for Chauvel.
if you roll 3 nat ones.
Three nat ones
Right?
for
So if
the
you
thing. That's fine.
if
that's
you
fine.
roll 2 nat ones
Yeah.
on your journey,
And you just
you might
choose
be a little
not
more
to-
hesitant not to roll to get gold again.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
But
Unless
it's
it gets
essentially the same as like a Chauvel.
perfect.
But fancy.
Yeah.
Are we level 4?
So once again, you're spoiling the surprise.
Hey!
But
Oh my
after your
God.
fight with Oda and Orla, and after your fight with Bigby,
Fuck yeah.
you guys are now level
We
4
see
to start this
Damn
new
right.
saga of the campaign.
Hell yeah!
I think the luncheon was really what did
The
it.
luncheon
Yes.
is what did it.
Yeah.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Also Flint Horn.
Oh,
I
he's
know.
crying.
Yeah,
He was
I
a-
know.
Give us little hats.
It's so nice that like I really feel like we ultimately started with Banks and we ended with Banks,
Mhm.
and then right after Banks it was Flinthorn, and then I met Flinthorn, and now he's the one sending us off as well. And
Yeah.
I just think it was very, very nice, Chris. A lovely little bow at the end of everything, but with all of these unknowns to come.
Yeah.
So speaking of unknowns, what do you guys think? Like, you're
Oh
heading
my
out towards the
God.
capital.
I'm so excited. As Clue, he's not that excited, but I mean, he's pretty excited. I think he's been to the capital. I would say that maybe he's been to the capital.
Maybe once.
Maybe like he's lived a time and he traveled with the army and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
did your uncle work in the capital?
I believe so.
Uncle Jonas?
Yeah.
Jonas.
So yeah,
Or
he
is that,
definitely would
like-
have been.
Yeah.
He.
Okay.
I think
'Cause
in
he
the
works for the
flashback,
king.
he works
Yeah.
for the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I'll say that, and there was a different king back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm excited to see Minx's stomping ground. I'm excited to kind of see a little peek into her life
I am too.
and be the Dillon in it, you know?
Yeah, I'm Minx and Maggie almost. But like are a little afraid for just road travel.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with two people that are not that just, wear their heart on their sleeves and
Yep.
really don't have a way of biting their tongue. But maybe there was learning in the
Mhm.
last couple dead situations.
I
but,
hope so. I hope Dillon has learned
but
something.
it's meeting strangers on the road will be just aiming to have a little bit more subtlety.
yeah.
Yeah.
Will be a goal. But
Yeah.
What else? What
Excited
else
to not be
happened
traveling
this
alone.
session?
I'm excited for the road ahead. I think with getting to the capital, Dillon, very much like Dillon, like that's the next step. There's nothing
Yeah.
like it's like I gotta find my mom, but also like I'm going to the capital, and like that's all that's like front of mind right now.
I
It's like, I'm gonna get
expect
there.
kind of a typical Chris answer from this, but I'm just wondering, are we
Level 5? No.
no. Are we going to have like a travel session, or are we effectively saying it's a week away?
Bro,
we've
don't
got
blow
a
the
cart?
surprise.
Are we just arriving at the capital
I
and
don't know.
That's for me to
Fuck,
know.
come on, man.
I
you to
love
find
road
out.
travel.
Do you want me to
I
tell
don't
you how
wanna
the,
know.
Do you want me to tell you how the campaign ends?
No.
Yes,
you go.
please. Clearly, it was your mom all along.
I would love it if even along the way, and this is just both again Minx and Maggie excited, but like I love a roadside stop. I love like a
travel day.
like but like like the little souvenir shops along the way where I'm like I just want to find like a rock to bring home, so I'm not like it wasn't a complete wash of a multiple week trip of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
so it is
something to bring back to Merrick would feel so good, like that's it.
Yeah.
It's more so like I would love to not show up just back with a cart and
shoot.
No, but that's just like again, that's just where she's at in that way. Like that's it.
I would have loved to pick up like a Tillville fridge magnet while we were there, but I didn't get a chance.
It's fine. It's always
Just
fine.
a cob of the corn, make a little pipe out of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it looks like everyone from Tillville gave you a warm send-off with either gifts or salutations. So I think we did talk about, or at least I mentioned on the first episode, it's a 2-week road to the capital.
Got a long way to go.
Long way to go. Whether or not we fast forward there or we take our time to get there, that's for me to know. But I think
Well, the last thing I feel like we should just talk about is in terms of our recording and how that has been going. Because now this is episode 12, and essentially this is the end of the first saga. Yeah. I'm heading out on a big trip, and I know that there's going to be a pretty significant break between the next time that we record. At the same time, now, since we're up to this point, we are planning on releasing those 3 first episodes. So by the time when we start recording the next session, hopefully, we'll have those 3 out and their respective last calls. And then, after that, we'll be releasing them weekly and sort of hold on to that bank. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun to finally let this out into the world. And then also, if you've gotten this far and you've been like commenting things and being like, why aren't you guys still doing this? It's because we haven't even released the show yet. So it's all pre-recorded up until this point. And from hopefully the next episode, we'll be in touch with whatever stuff is going on after the launch. So yeah.
I forgot to mention one thing before we wrap up.
Of course. No, please do.
I love not like hand holding, but I love just kind of giving hints with the voice telling you, just take the hood off, Dillon.
Yes. Yeah. That was great.
That was funny.
Good.
And then he ripped the. Oh, sorry, we didn't even talk about the fight. The fact that you ripped.
Yeah.
No, not even the coming back. You rip the hood off. You do 2 attacks. He turns around and then kills
you again.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
The fact that we were then again in a place of like, oh great, both of my friends are dying again. Which one do you want to choose to help out? I was like, God fucking damn it.
It happens too often. We got to figure that out. I got to figure out a different approach to fighting with Dillon because he is not a strong lad. So I mean, granted, the what's it called? The people that we were fighting are very powerful in comparison.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of roadside relic hunters. That isn't. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. All of it.
Yeah.
Bigby was definitely strong, and he had a bunch of like feats that are associated with gnomes and rogues. Like he had the fadeaway feat that I think I talked about off mic, where he can use when he gets hit, he can use his reaction to turn invisible until the end of his next turn. He had his deep poison vials that he was using on his sword.
Yeah, he had a lot.
Yeah, but I thought that when you guys kind of established in earlier episodes, okay, don't fight him in the sun. Okay, he likes the dark.
I know.
Funny.
I kept describing like
it.
He has his hood on.
Chris, you expect us to learn?
Well, I think
I was half expecting either one of you to try and rip it off,
sure.
or Maggie, you have mage hand, correct?
Yeah, but again, it was like it's dex saves, and it's not bad. It's just that, and it was similar where like even at the top of the round, I was like, I have 1 spell left, and I'm gonna use catapult because again, I was just like, I was so focused again on like, I would, but it completely failed. But it was just like it was more so the idea that I was still in the previous battle with like Oda and Orla, where I was like, like if I can hit them, then like there's not an advantage on it, and I was like, and there's a rogue there, he's a rogue. Why? And it's just I got overwhelmed immediately. And so it's, it's just,
and I also think
it's remembering things and referring back to notes that I did take, saying like, these are the things that he is doing. It's just basic learning.
Yeah, and I think ultimately, because I guess we could have tried to like mage hand the hood off of him when he was in the tree, but ultimately once he was down on the ground with us, there wasn't a lot of turns till I died.
No.
Right?
No.
So it was
like
it was
rounds,
it was 2 rounds,
yeah.
right? And like I feel like maybe on the third one we'd be like, all right, we maybe something would come up, or
100%.
maybe Dax would have fed us another bone. But I mean, yeah, I feel like with me dying and then us stopping the session because of all of that, I feel like yes, it was we should have known about the hood, but
that's okay.
We didn't jump on it right away.
We did not.
But anyways, I think we're gonna wrap up this last call.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening once again. Joined by Chris, Mike, Hartley, and Maggie. We'll see you next time.
We will
on Trouble at the Tavern.
So excited.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Take it away with the slow jazz.
James.
Hey everyone! Oh my god! Hey,
We're
guys!
never gonna get out of here.
Guys!
Hartley,
No! Shut up! All of you, shut up! Listen, this is important. We have a 2-week break
2-week break
coming up.
Yes.
In between episodes 12 and 13.
Yes.
And in that time, we're gonna throw a Q&A at you.
We are releasing a special Q&A episode. We want to hear any questions that you might have, whether it's about the campaign or about the characters. Please send them to us.
Or about us, dare I say.
Ooh, maybe.
Who are you, Maggie?
Let's get personal.
Yeah.
Let's get real personal. Ask us about literally anything.
You can send us some questions at Instagram at Trouble at the Tavern, or you can send us an email at troubleatthetavern@gmail.com. Either way, we'd love to hear from you.
Perfect. We need the questions by next week, so send them to us as soon as you can. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.